Hi, in today's lesson, I'm going to go over how to create reoccurring or memorized billing within QuickBooks. This is a helpful tool for you business owners who may have customers you bill out the same amount for every single month. Now, in order to create a memorized billing or a reoccurring bill, you have to first go into create invoices for your customers. The way to do that is to go into your home quick start menu and hit create invoices. Or you can go into the customer center up here on your secondary toolbar and select which customer you would like to create a bill for. When you select the customer, right-click on it and create invoice. Or you can go into the main toolbar to customers, create invoice. Okay, and then you're going to want to select what customer you want to do the memorize or reoccurring billing for. Once you select your customer, you're going to go ahead and create the invoice. Now, please remember that this is a tutorial, so my invoices may look a little differently than yours, just based on the industry and how you customized yours and had yours set up. So let's go ahead and create your invoice just as you would monthly. Okay, and then once your invoice is created, you're going to want to save this into the memorized transaction list. And by doing that, you'll go ahead and start creating this to be a monthly reoccurring invoice. And again, you'll be able to set parameters on how often you want it billed, and if you want it to be billed or create the bill to be created 10 days before, 15 days before, or the day of. Again, you'll be able to set these parameters. But let's first get this to that point. Let's get it to the memorized transaction list. So you're going to want to select Edit, Memorize Invoice. The name's going to pop up, and again, the name can be whatever it is that you remember this invoice by. So let's just say you're a landscape company and you remember that it's 1234 ABC Street, then by all means you can do that. Or you can actually have the customer's name. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to use the customer's name. So here's your options. Now you can add this to your reminders list, which means every month you'll just be reminded that you do have to create a bill for this customer. Again, if you have a lot of customers, this is not the option for you. You can also have it set up where they don't remind you. So let's just say that you need just a template or you need to be reminded of how you created this bill. You can do the do not remind. Or you can automate transaction entry, which means this is going to automatically bill out every single month, or at least automatically create the invoice. And you can also add it to a group. Now, again, it may depend on what version of QuickBooks you have to add it to a group. I have Accountant 2011 version, so you may not have that option. So we're just going to keep it as basic as possible, so that way we make sure that we cover everybody's mobility within QuickBooks. We're going to automate transaction entry. So now we're going to have to come over here, and it's going to ask us how often do we want to do this invoicing. We're going to say we want to do it every month. And the next date that we're going to bill this out, it's going to be, for my sake, because this is a sample company, I have dated this years in advance, but you're going to want to do the next billing cycle, the next billing date. So we're going to do it 30 days out. Now, some of you may be doing this based on project. So let's just say that you're an interior design firm and you're going to have 5 or 6 different retainers paid to you. You're going to choose the number of remaining payments. So you're going to say, I have 4 more invoices of retainers coming to me. I have 3 more coming to me. So that way the system knows that after it creates the bill 3 times, it's no longer going to create this bill. For those of you who have yearly contracts, you're going to want to put 12 as your number of remaining invoices to bill. Or if you've already created 2 invoices, but there's still 10 months more in that contract that you want to do automatic billing for, well, then you're going to do 10 months or 10 remaining invoices to create. Again, this is just a number asking you how many more do they have to create. If for any reason you don't have a number, you don't have a contractual agreement, you can leave this blank. and you can go back to it later to cancel it, to delete it, whatever you wish. So again, we're going to leave it blank. Now, days in advance to enter. This is basically how much earlier than the bill date do you want to create this bill or this invoice? Our invoice date is 1/15. Now, do you want to create that invoice on 1/15 and mail it out on the same date? Or do you want to say that your bill date or your invoice date is 1/15, but we want to actually create these bills days in advance? For my sanity, just for the tutorial, we're going to say we want to create this bill or this invoicing 10 days in advance. So you're just going to write 10 days in advance. And what that'll do is on 1/5, if you're using this tutorial as your example, on 1/5, it'll actually create all the invoicing for you to prepare, print, and mail out to these customers. Again, you can leave that at 0 if you want. It's completely up to you. And then you're going to hit OK. And there you go. Hit save and close. All right, and the way that you can see if this is set up for automatic billing or automatic invoicing, however you choose to call it, go to List, scroll all the way down, and go to Memorize Transaction List. And there you'll see it. Gwen price, invoice, accounts receivable, amount $35 monthly. And if it has a check mark next to it, that means it's an automatic invoicing or automatic entry. And you'll see that the next bill date is 1/15/2006. Now, you can double click on this if you want to go ahead and bill it. Or if you want to change anything, you can double click on it. Again, hit save and close. And if you double click on the invoice from here, what it'll actually do is take it, bill it, and then it'll set it up for the next invoicing. So you won't have duplicate invoicing. Now the next step would be to go in and actually generate the billing or actually print the billing to get it prepped to send out to the customers. Now, as you will see, again, we have Gwen price. Now, normally, if it's that time of the month and it's time for your invoices to be entered, a little pop-up window will pop up on your screen when you log into QuickBooks saying you have X amount of automatic entries that need to be entered. Do you want these to be done now? If you hit yes, it'll go ahead and generate all of these invoices. And then the way to get those processed would be go into print forms in invoices. And it'll automatically list every invoice that you have set up as an automatic invoice for printing. You see, here's ours right here, Gwen price. It'll even tell you what template you're using, the customer's name, the invoice number, and the amount. And to get this printed out, all you would do is just hit OK. And you would hit print, select your printer, and your invoice is printed and ready for mailing for you to put in the envelope and mail. If you hit Customer Center and go down to the actual customer, you will see here's the bill automatically created for you. And that wraps up our session for how to create reoccurring billing and memorize billing in QuickBooks. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. And if you have any suggestions for future tutorials on how to use QuickBooks for your specific reasons, again, contact us and we'll be sure to help you. Thank you.